Okay, we'll call this September 10th meeting to order. Would you call roll for it?
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Nichols, Briggs,
Yes.
First item is the approval of the minutes of August 27th regular session meeting.
Move for approval?
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Next item, we'd like to open this up for a public hearing. We need a motion to that effect, please.
Make a motion, we open a public hearing
For
Second.
operating and capital budget.
for operating capital budget.
And I second it.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This evening, we will cover the 2019 fiscal year budget, proposed budget. The City of Mexico budget for fiscal year starting October 1, 2018, and it'll run through September 30, 2019. The budget is balanced and reflects the policy direction of the City Council, service priorities of the community, and maintains the city's strong financial health. The city has actively managed its expenditure growth. It has kept long-term liabilities low and has preserved a solid operating performance and service levels. The budget retains the financial reserves as required by council policy, and it utilizes one-time surplus savings from prior years to help fund non-reoccurring and one-time expenses and the purchase of capital assets. The city adheres to the generally accepted accounting principles applicable to governments. Government finance is based upon fund accounting. Fund accounting is an accounting system that emphasizes accountability rather than profitability. Each fund operates like a separate business within the greater organization, and each fund accounts for different services and activities. The city's budget is a planning and policy document, estimating future revenues and expenditures and allocating resources to accomplish community and council priorities. All department directors were involved in the preparation of this budget, and every departmental operating budget was combed through for savings. Unnecessary expenses have been removed, personnel costs have been controlled, and program efficiencies have been implemented. City staff does continue to pursue partnerships, grants, and other resources to supplement funding for the operation, and the city is operating in a lean and condensed state. The total budget expenditures are estimated at $15,416,767. Total revenues are estimated at $14,046,430. Expenditures exceed revenues by $1,370,337, and this will be funded by project reserves and unreserved surpluses from prior budget years. The additional expenditures are for interfund transfers, planned capital equipment purchases, planned capital improvement projects, and carryover improvement projects. Some of the guiding issues for this budget. The total's budget property valuation for this budget year increased by 6.2% over the prior year's valuation. This was in part due to increased values in commercial and real estate and personal property. Our local unemployment rate continually remains below state and federal rate. Sales tax receipts are up slightly as compared to last year's budget. Lodging tax receipts are stable as compared to last year, and gross receipts tax income is stable and up slightly due to an increase in consumption and rates. Reoccurring operational expenditures and the cost to replace capital equipment continues to increase on a regular basis. The average price of a regular grade of gasoline, for example, is increased in price an average of 60 cents per gallon, higher than it was just a year ago. The council approved and adopted the Austin Peters Group, and they conducted the employee compensation and benefit study for all positions, and that has been incorporated into the budget. A stormwater department was added to the general fund this year. The separate management and reporting of stormwater activities is a necessary compliance component of the municipal small stormwater MS4 permit standards. The addition of this department did not increase the total budget expenditures because the expenses for this activity had been included in other funds and other departments in past budget years. As mentioned earlier, the evaluations. The county assesses property at a percent of market value. Therefore, commercial property is assessed at 32% of its market value, personal property at 33.3%, residential at 19%, and agriculture at 12%, respectively. Tax rates are levied up on a per $100 of assessed property values. This year's property value is $159,115,737 as compared to previous year's total value of $149,881,641. This is an increase of a little over $9.2 million in assessed value. The city's property tax rate will be 71.9 cents per hundred of assessed value, and this is the same tax rate as compared to the current fiscal year. The estimated revenues that will be coming in due to property taxes for the general fund, the tax rate is at 42.6 cents and bringing in just a little under $703,000. The Parks and Recreation tax is at 9.76 cents per hundred, and estimated income a little over $161,000. The public health tax rate at 19.5 cents and bringing in a little over $322,000 for a total estimated income from property tax revenues of $1,186,881. As mentioned earlier, the sales tax revenue for the general fund, Parks and Recreation Fund, and capital improvements are all anticipated to be up as compared to last year's budget, but is still comparable on the 5-year average. Gross receipts taxes are expected to be up slightly, and again, all related to consumption and rates, and lodging taxes are similar to the current budget year. Our anticipated changes in insurance rates for the budget year. Property and liability insurance renewal rates are estimated to increase by 5%. Employee health insurance premiums are estimated to increase by 11% effective January 1, 2019. The budget does include the costs associated with continuing the high deductible health plan, coupled with the use of a health savings account, and any increase will be split proportionally between employee and city. Dental insurance premiums are estimated to increase by 6% effective January 1 of 2019. All insurances at this point in the budget are estimated based on industry standards. However, all policies will be bid to ensure the best possible rates. Personnel, full-time staff levels will remain the same as compared to the current budget year. Council did approve the implementation plan for the wage and compensation benefit study performed by Austin Peters, and that new wage schedule for all city pay groups will go into effect October 1, 2018. Funding support for outside agencies. Our charitable agencies. The Mexico Senior Center requested $14,000. We budgeted $14,000 to support them. Audrain County Historical Society, $4,900. We budgeted $4,900. Miss Missouri Scholarship Pageant, $10,000. Budgeted $10,000. Help Center, $5,000. Actually, the request was $10,000. We budgeted $5,000. Optimus Youth Sports, and this is the same as last year, by the way, is $5,000. Budgeted $5,000. And all of the budgeted amounts are the same as current year. Our contract agencies, Handy Shop Recycling Program, $19,000, budgeted $19,000. Mexico Chamber of Commerce for marketing activities, $13,000, budgeted $13,000. Presser Hall for community theater productions, requested $10,000, budgeted $10,000. And the Mexico Chamber of Commerce for economic development assistance activities, $5,000, budgeted $5,000. As mentioned earlier, we do seek outside grants to help support the budget. This year, we have 4 grants that we have been incorporated into this budget. $8,000 to be estimated received from MoDOT for a TEEP sidewalk transition plan, MoDOT for a sidewalk accessibility grant, from the DOT, and this is for the federal highways for the Holt Street reconstruction project, $722,576, and DOT on runway displacement project, $90,000. So this budget year, grant estimated income, $861,376. As we start breaking down into individual funds, the general fund is the chief operating fund of the city. The general fund budgeted revenues for fiscal year 19 are estimated at $5,644,550, and expenditures are estimated at $6,095,334. The estimated expenditures and interfund transfers are greater than revenues by $450,784. This budget transfers out of the general fund $35,000 to the airport and sets aside $100,000 in project reserves. Qualifying capital expenditures are being made as a part of this, therefore no cash balances are being expended for reoccurring expenditures. The qualifying capital expenditures, major projects and programs, as listed: officer pagers and radios and public safety, $50,000; patrol cars, $55,000; administration, a copier, scanner, photo equipment, $17,200; community development sidewalk program, $5,000; engineering, a survey robotic station, $17,000; GIS aerial photography, $15,000; under stormwater improvements, annual improvements, $10,000; South Jefferson drainage improvements, $50,000; Fairgrounds Lakeview pipe replacement, $20,000; cemetery, a compact excavator, $45,000; a rear discharge mower, $13,000; under streets and maintenance, dump truck, $92,775; a dump truck spreader, $11,000; truck bed spreader, $11,000; snowplow, $8,000; asphalt recycler, $47,500. In the wastewater fund, budgeted revenues for fiscal year 19 are estimated to be at $3,155,527, and operating expenditures estimated at $2,292,793, plus an interfund transfer of $799,901 to the wastewater debt service fund, and project reserves of $80,000 for total estimated expenditures of $3,172,694. The ending fund balance for the 2019 under wastewater is estimated to be at about 80%. However, the ending fund balance provides for 90 days of operating cash reserves, required reserves for facilities restoration and replacement, funds for upcoming bond payments, and future capital improvements. All those funds required to be set aside. The budget does include an additional $610,000 in planned capital improvement projects for the year. In addition, as I mentioned earlier, I guess I should have jumped this slide sooner, is the 80%, and that's for the reserves and the balance. The projects under the wastewater fund, significant projects this year is the closed the TV unit, the closed caption TV unit at $75,000. Collection system improvements, $75,000. Collection system slip lining, $250,000. Lift station improvements, drives and alarms, $25,000. Wastewater treatment plant, facilities plan updates, $70,000. Engineering design, map surveys, hydraulic modeling, $80,000. Lift station controls and alarms, $35,000 for the $610,000 in projects. This budget does reflect a 3% planned adjustment in wastewater fees effective October 2018 billing to meet the operating expenses, capital improvements, and debt reserve obligations. In sanitation fund, expenditures for contracted residential refuse collection services, spring fall cleanup, drop-off recycling, household hazardous waste disposal are all paid out of this fund. Budgeted revenues for the fiscal year are estimated at $602,900, and expenditures are estimated at $605,023, plus a project reserve for the equipment replacement in the amount of $11,000, for total expenditures to be at $616,023. The budget does anticipate a 1.64% adjustment in sanitation rates effective with the April 2019 billing to meet the contractual operating expenses of the increase in the residential refuse collection service contract. The Economic Development Fund, budget revenues for the fiscal year are estimated at $212,175 and expenditures at $509,878. Lease revenue received from the city-owned industrial speculative buildings are deposited into this fund. Expenses for job creation, retention, industrial recruitment, economic development, planning is paid from this fund. The city also owns the railroad spur that serves the business park located in the industrial area, and there are some ongoing expenses on that is paid out of here. This fund has built up an unreserved balance greater than the balance owed on the spec building on Christopher Drive. And so the plan is the loan will be paid off on that building in the first month of this fiscal year. But even after making that payment, will still remain sufficient reserves. Therefore, the ending fund balance will still exceed ending fund balance by still making this payment, paying that building off, and getting out from under that debt. In Parks and Recreation, the fund budgeted revenues for fiscal year 19 is estimated at $1,119,721, and expenditures estimated at $1,325,914. The Parks and Recreation budget reflects a reduction in cash balance by $206,193 due to current year carryover capital projects, equipment purchase, and planned capital projects. There will be a $75,000 incoming transfer from the Capital Project Reserve Fund into this fund for the pool replacement planning process. The city's swimming pool is over 30 years old and reaching the end of its intended life cycle. Therefore, council and staff have begun a planning process for major renovation or replacement of the city's pool facility.
What is that picture down there in the corner?
That picture right there is that is the gutter on the pool. That was some of the repairs that was done.
Okay.
And you notice the shiny part on top is the gutter. The underneath is where the concrete was broken out around that pool, and that was one of the projects that had to be done to fix the pool.
So that was done.
That's been done. Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
That's a temporary fix still.
Yeah.
Temporary fix.
That's been patched. The question is how long the patch will.
I just couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah. So this budget does allocate $75,000 for the pool replacement planning process, and at this point we include to do some concept design, cost estimates, and get a financing plan in place in this next year. Some of the major significant projects in the parks and pool area under parks operation this year. Pickup truck, 3/4 ton, $29,500. The Teal Lake Spillway trash rack, $9,000. Plunkett Park warrant shelter floor, $79,300. Lakeview Park, Lakeview shelter floor, $40,000. Fairgrounds Park parking lot, $17,200. Picnic tables, $8,000. AP Green Park for culverts phase 4 replacement, $30,000. Hardin Park playground equipment, $45,000. And then it is noted earlier the $75,000 for the design build plan under the aquatics facility. In the public health and animal control, revenues for the fiscal year estimated to be at $343,297. Expenditures estimated $369,637. The revenue from the dedicated public health tax is what funds this fund. Costs for running the animal shelter, nuisance abatements, dangerous building demolitions, pest control are all paid out of this fund. The reduction in cash balance is supported by the continued funding for the dangerous building demolition program and nuisance abatements. And we also have budgeted this year replacement of the animal shelter building roof as a planned capital improvement project. The airport fund. Budgeted revenues are estimated to be $163,905. Estimated expenditures, $196,601. As mentioned earlier, a $35,000 transfer from the general fund and a $10,000 transfer from the capital improvement sales tax fund is being made to support operations and provide grant matches in this fund. The capital expenditure in this fund is for a runway displacement project, which is funded 90% by the DOT grant. And the total estimated grant income this budget year for that project is $90,000. In the capital improvement sales tax fund, this fund pays for the pavement and curb replacements, asphalt maintenance, overlays, drainage projects, capital improvement projects, capital equipment. The dedicated capital improvement sales tax and investment income is estimated to bring in $833,800 in revenue this year. The projects in the capital improvement fund this year: asphalt overlays, $340,000; Teal Lake sidewalk extension, $10,000; pavement and curb replacement, $60,000; Falcon Drive extension project, $55,000; Smiley Lane extension design project, $10,000; project reserve, $20,000. Also, you have transfers of this fund to the general fund for the street maintenance and stormwater improvements, $421,400, and the airport fund, $10,000. I want to note that the preparation of this budget document was certainly a team effort. Couldn't have been done without the cooperation of the entire city staff. The budget is balanced, as mentioned earlier. It's still, everything is done in a way that reflects the goals and objectives of the city council and to maintain the services being provided to the citizens. And I sincerely hope the budget will be received well by the council and the citizens of Mexico. And I will try to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
The Falcon Street extension, why are we footing the bill for their entrance?
The Falcon Street project, that is the one that runs actually across the Ameren property and ties the Teal Lake Village Apartments back over to Fairgrounds.
Right.
And that is not on the developer's property. So that extension, and that was the deal that we got with Ameren in order to be able to get that property, that right away, is we would put the road in.
First, TEEP sidewalk transition for $8,000. What is that exactly?
Kenzie, you want to go ahead with that one?
TEEP, tell me TEEP's initials.
Transportation.
Transportation Enhancement Program, and it's our engineering assistance program, actually, Transportation Engineering Assistance Program. And that's a $10,000 contract with a consultant to develop a sidewalk transition plan for the community, which we need to have in place to meet the Americans with Disability Act obligations. It's somewhat like the wastewater facility plan in that it lays out a system of priorities and a long-term schedule for how we make improvements to our sidewalks.
It's just an engineering plan then.
Yes, sir.
More questions from the board? Council? If not, I'll open the public hearing up to the... We're going to close this first? No. Okay, I'll open it up to the public. If you'd like to make a comment about the budget, please come to the podium, state your name and address. Try to hold your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing no one come forward, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second. Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
I'd like to have a motion to open a public hearing for the approval of revised final plan for the Teal Lake Village Plan Unit Development.
I move we open a public hearing for the approval of a revised final plan of the Teal Lake Village Planned Unit Development.
Second.
Who's second, I'm sorry.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor. This request is for an approval of the revision in the final plat. To cover the request and the recommendation from Planning and Zoning, we'll turn to Rita Jackson.
This public hearing concerns a request for approval of a revision to the final plan of Till Lake Plan Unit Development. Till Lake Village LP is a Missouri limited liability company. Its general partner, Ryan Holden, manager. On April 10, 2017, City Council passed an ordinance granting approval of Till Lake Village Plan Unit Development. Till Lake Village is located north of Till Lake Road between Fairground and South Clark. The development consists of 10 two-bedroom duplexes, 10 three-bedroom duplexes, a shared community building, and a playground. There will be a sidewalk along Till Lake Road and along the west side of Amelia Street within the development. The proposed revisions are to buildings located in the southwest quadrant of the site. The two-family two-bedroom duplexes and the two-family three-bedroom duplexes have been relocated to the northern end of the southwest quadrant, while the UFAS, Uniform Federal Accessibility Standard Unit, a community building, and a playground area have been relocated to the far south end of the southwest quadrant. And you can see it highlighted on the map there in red. And basically, you have your playground area and your buildings are actually here, and they're being moved down to the entrance. And the reason for this revision is the developers, they encountered soft soil at the end of that entrance, and they thought rather than constructing residence on soft soil, it would move the playground areas down. The soil some of it has been replaced, and the fill has been tested by independent laboratory. The Planning and Zoning Commission granted approval of the revision to the final plan of Till Lake Village Plan Unit Development at the August 14, 2018 meeting. The minutes of that meeting is attached. We do have with us tonight Pete Ramsell, the coordinator of the project, and staff recommends that council proceed with the advertised public hearing.
Questions?
Did you say there will be sidewalks in the complex itself?
Yes.
Other questions? Thank you, Rita. I now open this public hearing to anybody that would like to make a comment. Please come to the podium, state your name and address, and try to hold it within 3 minutes. Seeing no one come forward, entertain a motion to close.
I move we close the public hearing for the approval of a revised final plan of Teal Lake Village Plan Unit Development.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Item 5 under new business, A, bill number 2018-55, an ordinance revising the budget of the City of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1, 2017 to September 30, 2018, inclusive, and adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1, 2018 to September 30, 2019, inclusive. 2 readings by title only and passage.
Yes, Your Honor, the public hearing was held earlier this evening on the proposed operating and capital budget. Also want to note that council held a very extensive work session in August that went over everything in the budget. So even though we don't cover as many details this evening, council has been through a number of those details at that work session, and I just wanted to note that. At this time, staff would recommend that council do proceed with reading by title only and passage and approving the budget, operating and capital budget for the City of Mexico.
I move for first reading by title only of bill number 2018-55.
Second.
Miller? Williams,
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes. Bill number 2018-55, an ordinance revising the budget for the City of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1st, 2017 to September 30th, 2018, inclusive, and adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1st, 2018 to September 30th, 2019, inclusive, appropriating the funds as allocated to various accounts and authorizing the expenditure of such funds by the city manager and other officials for the purposes indicated. Okay. I move for second reading by title only of Bill number 2018-55.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes. Bill number 2018-55, an ordinance revising the budget for the City of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1st, 2017 to September 30th, 2018 inclusive, and adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1st, 2018 to September 30th, 2019 inclusive, appropriating the funds as allocated to various accounts and authorizing the expenditures of such funds by the city manager and other officials for the purposes indicated. I move for passage of Bill 2018-55.
Second.
Miller, Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Next item B is Bill 2018-56, an ordinance approving a revised final plan for Teal Lake Village Plan Unit Development. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, the attached ordinance will approve the request of Teal Lake Village. The revisions were discussed previously in the public hearing. Unless you have any other questions at this time, staff would recommend council proceed with two readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance.
I have one question. When are they talking about finally being done and occupying?
We have Pete Ramsell here, which is part of the...
Good evening.
If I may, we are talking about October the 11th, turning over these 10 buildings up here. The street will be completely in, obviously all the utilities will be in, and then we'll follow that with 4 buildings in November. When we turn these buildings in October, we will also turn the office in this area here for leasing. And then these final 4 buildings here will be in December. And the change, as Rita stated, was basically we found some bad soil down here. Instead of putting a residential building down here, we just went ahead and switched out. And in my humble opinion, it actually works better. The entrance being here, the office being here, the playground, so that seemed to work. It cost us approximately $50,000. We took the old bad soil out, brought the new soil in, so it's done for spec.
Thank you. Make a motion to read bill number 2018-56 by title only. First reading.
Second.
Miller, Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Bill number 2018-56, an ordinance approving a resolution to the final plan of Teal Lake Village Plan Unit Development to the City of Mexico, Missouri. I make a motion for second reading of bill number 2018-56 by title only.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Bill number 2018-56, an ordinance approving a revision to the final plan of Teal Lake Village Plan Unit Development to the City of Mexico, Missouri. I move for passage of bill number 2018-56.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams, Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Item 6 under new business and resolutions, bill number 2018-57, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a hangar lease. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, to cover the details of the lease, we'll turn to Russell Rudd.
Just like 2 weeks ago, we have another hangar open, and the next person on that list is Mr. Tony Champion. This is to authorize the city manager to sign that hangar lease. This is for hangar number 8, and the monthly lease would be $80 per month. Staff recommends that council proceed with the reading and passage of the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to sign said hangar lease.
This may sound like an odd question, but somebody asked me, they have to keep a plane in there?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody said they saw a bunch of junk or whatever. They were like, there wasn't even a plane in that place. I was like, I don't know.
It's hidden.
Do I?
I was just saying it's hidden. I move for reading by title only of bill number 2018-57.
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bill number 2018-57, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a hangar lease with Tony Champion. I move for passage of bill number 2018-57.
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Item B, bill number 2018-58, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a task order number 4 with Horner and Schifrin Incorporated. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, we have some 25-year-old pumps at the wastewater treatment plant that are wore out and need to be replaced. To cover the details of what we're doing, we'll turn to Kenzie Russell.
These pumps are our WAS-RAS pumps, which is the waste aeration sludge and return or recycle aeration sludge in the plant. So they pump a thick muck, if you will, and they've worn out. That's the bottom line. Instead of just replacing them in kind, we asked for a proposal from Horner and Schifrin, who's been doing our plant design work, in order to upsize or size them correctly to match the rest of the new equipment and improvements that we put into the plant. And in addition, to look at the pumping manifold, the pipes that discharge from that. Currently, we cannot recycle sludge back to the aeration basins individually from 2 of the pumps because that the piping just hydraulically doesn't allow us to do that. And so we want to look at that and try to make our operations more efficient when we don't need to be running all 3 of the final aeration basins, that we can isolate and run what's necessary and not be running an extra basin if it's not needed. That should give us some operational efficiency. This proposal, this task order under the general services contract that we have with Horner and Schifrin is $52,200. Monies would come from the professional engineering services line item in the upcoming budget year. We would have them go ahead and start work as soon as the contracts are executed, but obviously here at the middle or near the middle of September, the work won't be completed and billing won't be done until we're in the new budget year. So that's what we're asking for, and try to answer any questions.
Is this just for engineering services, sort of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this will be a design. They'll provide a plan and specification for bidding.
Questions, anyone?
I move for reading bill number 2018-58.
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bill number 2018-58, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign task order number 4 with Horner and Schifrin Incorporated. I move for passage of bill number 2018-58.
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Next item be the payment of the claims.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Next item, comments from the council, and we begin with Mrs. Briggs.
Okay, we start with me. Well, I think we ought to be thankful we don't have a hurricane the size of North Carolina bearing down on us tonight, so we keep those folks in mind. Otherwise, I'm enjoying the beautiful weather, and that's about all I've said.
Mr. Williams.
First, I'd like to say I forgot to say something about the Soybean Festival, and it's a great event for our community. Pulled a lot of people in from out of town. I appreciate everything the JC's does to put that on. So, first that, and then I got a couple other things. 815 East Jackson, there's a tree. It's been down for like 2 years back there in the back of their house. I think it's like laying in. Their fence is like broken down. It's just an eyesore. I don't think it's, it's not hurting anybody, but I don't know how that makes for. Second, just to mention, I had a customer bring me in. I guess there was an article in the Columbia paper about all the money that some other cities get, and he made the comment that Boonville gets $3.2 million from their casino, and what could we do in Mexico with $3.2 million extra dollars? And I was like, we could do a lot, buddy. So sometimes I don't think people realize, we don't have some of the things, and we're not able to raise money like some communities. Like some communities have their own electrical company, which does make revenue for them as well. So, the last thing, I attended, a lot of people don't know this, but my great uncle was Benjamin Booth, who was the first highway patrol officer killed in the line of duty in the state of Missouri. And actually, the incident started right here in Mexico, Missouri. It was a bank robbery here in Mexico, Missouri. Him and the sheriff of Boone County put a roadblock up, and they were both killed at the roadblock. So they dedicated some signs that'll be up, and they said 2 to 3 weeks. They had the signs at the ceremony, but dedicating part of I-70 to both of those guys. And so I just thought it was interesting, to read and to see how things were then versus how they are now. And I got to address a bunch of troopers after it, and we always tend to focus on the bad when it comes to law enforcement nowadays, it seems like. But people tend to forget that these people go out there and literally their spouses and their kids don't know if they're going to come home that night. You just don't know what's going to happen. And so I just wanted to say, sometimes I know I give the chief a hard time about how many officers are on the road, but that's part of my psyche is, I've lost people in my family on the road, and the last thing I ever want to do is have any family have to go through that. So thank you, and thank you for all officers, all you guys do. So that's it.
I don't have anything.
Mr. Slugger.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that we did have the Spartan Light Metals groundbreaking ceremony last week on Wednesday. And just note that, it's a $120 million plus project. It's bringing an additional 100 opportunities for jobs to the community, and we just appreciate what they've done, and it was a good event. We're glad to see that they're moving forward with the project.
I have nothing to say other than just living the dream here in Mexico, Missouri. In this cool weather. What more can we ask for? This time we'll take public comments. If you'd like to make a public comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address. Try to hold your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing none, I move we adjourn into executive session pursuant to the revised statute of Missouri 610-021.
Second.
Personnel matters.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.